Apparently there is a Steam dev scammer that uses over 60 identities to, I suppose, rate up his game. We have learned from the videos before that Steam doesn't look at the reviews unless it's even worse than 40%. Otherwise, they have no impact on your game's visibility on the Steam's page. Now, obviously, it has an impact on the person that is going to see your page. If there's a lot of positive reviews, they are more likely to buy or even test your game. And so there could be the reason for using fake identities to upvote your game into positive. Also, we have learned that on Steam, when you have 10 reviews, there is the possibility that you can get on the front page. If you don't reach the 10 reviews, then you can't get to the front page. So there's that too. And so there is an incentive to have fake identities to hopefully push your game to the front page and then push it to more people. But let's see.
Atomic Fabrik. A game developer who you may have heard me talk about before has almost disappeared, but not because Steam took action against them. Late last year, I covered Atomic Fabrik for what I felt were some incredibly dishonest and shady practices.
Okay.
And their response seems to have been to hide their identity and association with their games. However, Atomic Fabrik didn't just swap to one fake identity, but to over 60. Oh, it's by Bong Games.
The Hidden Ghost?
What other?
On Steam. I saw a price tag of 120. Oh wow, 97 euros. It has 7 user reviews, a 50% rating on SteamDB. And it was last updated more than 2 years ago. What is this game? How on... I bought 2 of those. Yeah, you did. And it's literally just a ghost running around. Why would anyone play this or even buy this? Yeah.
Games have they... Oh, it's Atomic Fabrik. You actually click on it, it goes to Atomic Fabrik. But it's not Atomic Fabrik, guys. It's Bong Games. After the fake Helldivers 2 and Palworld situation, I thought Steam would have learned a lesson and prevented scammers from doing this. Instead, the scammers were the ones who learned the lesson, which is that they can abuse this system, which Steam hasn't.
Removed publisher, changed store categories, changed associations, changed number. Oh man.
Fixed to avoid repercussions for their actions. You might be thinking, okay, but Atomic Fabrik doesn't have a huge impact on the Steam store, and that's a fair point. But while this is true for Atomic Fabrik on its own, Atomic Fabrik is not the only one doing this. And I'm making this video because we've learned more about how these individuals exploit the Steam store, largely thanks to work done by the Steam community, Sentinels of the Store. This video isn't about Steam being ruined or the sky falling. I just find it sad that honest devs who work hard on their games for years have to compete for visibility against a load of these bullshit games. And this is when
but how?
These devs are giving a 30% cut of their sales to Steam. So is that revenue cut for Steam really justified? Either way, with all the new details that have come to...
Of course the revenue cut for Steam is justified, man. Steam is the most free market that you can get on. Like, any other platform is worse than Steam at the moment. Steam is the best platform. It's probably not, it's not perfect, but it is the best platform.
Light in the past year, let's discuss all of this from the start. First off, let me introduce you to Atomic Fabrik. My apologies in advance. See, most game developers have a process where they create a game, then publish that game to stores to sell it. Atomic Fabrik's MO skips the first part of that process. Atomic Fabrik downloads game templates that other people made from the Unity store, and then publishes those, usually with minimal to no modification. While he does sometimes publish his own games, that is usually the exception. And in my opinion, they're really not the best. In case you don't know what a game template is, it's usually a fully functional game that's meant to serve as the foundation for beginner game developers to
It's basically just,
build upon or learn from. It goes without saying that game templates are not meant to be purchased and then immediately resold on other platforms without modification. But that's exactly what's happening. Of course, the people...
I mean, no one would buy this. So how do people buy this?
Getting these games are never told that the games aren't complete. Meaning that, in my opinion, this is an inherently dishonest and deceptive practice. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
I opened up an Atomic Fabrik game called Supreme Race on Highway, but the main menu showed a completely different title. It turns
Crashy
out
Racing.
this was a game template that anyone can purchase on the Unity store called Crashy Racing. Atomic Fabrik purchased this asset and then uploaded it to Steam without even bothering to change the title of the game to match the Steam store page. But why?
Yeah.
Few, if any, would ever...
Like, let's say you buy this by accident. You can refund. If you don't refund, it's your own fault, man. Like, you deserve to get scammed. If you don't see that there's... Like, you have 2 hours to refund the game. So I don't understand what the issue is here, really.
buy this game on Steam, especially not for $260 Canadian. In fact,
victim blaming. Like, listen, you have all the possibility to react.
that appears to be part of the scheme. After publishing these games to the Steam store, game developers purchase fake reviews, often just 10 of them, because that's the minimum required to receive a positive review score.
This also, in addition to being featured on the front page, you need 10 reviews. Whether that be positive or not, I don't know, but 10 reviews to be featured.
You might think, okay, but why purchase fake reviews if the game is so incomplete that it's just going to receive a ton of negative reviews anyway? That's because these devs use a trick to sell their game while preventing anyone from being able to affect the review score.
Okay.
The trick is that only purchases made through Steam can impact the review score. So,
guys, I'm not talking about people that have a disability. I'm talking about the average Joe that buys this game, then figures out it's a scam, and then has the opportunity to refund, but doesn't use that opportunity. It's basically a lesson that you learn. It's the same. You can approach this with different examples in different situations. It is a lesson. It is basically life teaches you a lesson there, and you need to use that opportunity to learn. Everyone eventually down the line will get scammed, and I'm pretty sure you guys have played MMOs, and you probably have been scammed in those MMOs. And now that is a lesson that you learn, hopefully, that time, so that it never happens again. I got scammed in the first MMO I ever played. Someone told me that he wants to have 1.5 billion for a sword. He told me, give me 1 billion now, and then 500 million afterwards, and I will give you the sword with the 500 million. So I gave him 1 billion, and he logged off. He never logged on again. So that was me getting scammed. That was my own fault. Life was teaching me a lesson right then, and I should have learned, and I did. I never got scammed again. Yeah, I was dumb. I was retarded. Exactly. That's just basically life teaching you a lesson, and if you let that happen to you again, that's your own fault. You need to take some accountability. I got scammed in PoE too. Yeah, that just happens. Oh, it was on you. Thank you for your donation. Oh, that was you? You don't even know what game I mean, but okay. Let me guess, RuneScape. No, it was a game called Silk Road Online. It's a Japanese game. It's a really cool, fun game that is... it's very old, but still a lot of people play the game. Silk Road Online, yeah. That's how you can get to those numbers, 1.5 billion. Not the drugs website, guys. So yes, it is victim blaming, but you gotta use those... You need to use those examples in your life where you get scammed, where you fail, to learn from. These are learning experiences, okay?
If someone bought it...
I don't mean it in a bad way. Obviously, no one deserves to be scammed. But if you're so stupid to let yourself be scammed, at least use this as a learning experience. It sucks, of course, you know, and we need to prevent that. But, you know, sometimes... shit just happens.
Key from a third-party website, they could drop all the negative reviews they wanted. The review score would never change.
Okay.
So these devs make the game super cheap, often by dropping the game's regional price to an extremely low amount. Then they ask fake reviewers within that region to buy the game through Steam and leave positive reviews. Then the dev bumps the price back up to an insane amount. Suddenly, no one can leave negative reviews for that game. The fake review score is protected by the absurd price.
Okay.
Sentinels of the store recently investigated a community dedicated to providing these fake reviews.
Okay, but even if you have a fake review score that's very high and a very high price, and someone buys that, they will still get to play the game and have a window of 2 hours to react. So how are they even making money?
Mellow Online and others uncovered a Russian website called Obzor. To enter the site, you have to go through a difficult application process, demonstrating first of all that you're an authentic Russian individual, as well as submitting a phone number, email, telegram, and linking your Steam account. So they submitted an application using a fake Russian identity, and were able to get into the site. There, they found a list of orders where customers are instructed to purchase games through Steam and then provide fake positive reviews. In exchange, they're paid about the cost of the game plus a fraction of $1. But remember, then developers can temporarily reduce the price of the game using regional pricing. And these developers earn back most of what the users pay for the game anyway. In short, a developer can purchase fake reviews for their game for well under $1 each. Furthermore, the Sentinels of the store uncovered a list of Obzor's rules. There's a few that I would like to bring to your attention. Rule number
A paid game must be purchased with money or Steam balance. It is prohibited to activate the game with a key or gift. When you write a review, it's forbidden to check the game's review for free, received for free checkbox. Oh my god. It's prohibited to delete change the review after completing a task. It is prohibited to return money for the game after completing the task. The review should not contain the slightest hint that it was a paid review. You cannot tell anyone that you posted a paid review for the game. Everyone must maintain completely anonymously. You must maintain complete anonymity, confidentiality. It is prohibited to contact players or customers outside the service. It is prohibited to exchange any contracts. It is prohibited to create more than one account on the service. It is prohibited to copy the text to other people's reviews. So no copy paste. In case of violation of these rules, the account will be blocked.
Of Obzor's rules. There's a few that I would like to bring to your attention. Rule number 1. A paid game must be purchased with money or Steam balance.
This guy's a bad gamer.
It is prohibited to activate the game with a key or gift. Rule number 2. When writing a review, it is forbidden to check the game receipt.
So basically it is making sure that this is a real review. All of these reviews make sure all of these rules.
Free checkbox. Rule number 5. The review should not contain the slightest hint that it was a paid review or that you did not play the game. I'll spare you the rest of them, but it goes without saying that the main purpose of these rules is to disguise fake reviews as genuine, obviously, and it's meant to mislead customers. But I'll admit, Obzor's application process to each order is pretty smart. Instead of disclosing the names of these games which are receiving fake reviews up front, you have to apply to each order, and only after that application is accepted are you shown the name of the game. The Sentinels found the names of 5 different games allegedly using this service and were then immediately banned. But before they were banned, they noticed the order number of their tasks was nearly 7,000, which is our best evidence of how many fake reviews this site has supplied.
7,000 reviews? Holy shit.
However, as soon as these individuals were banned, the entire Obzor website was also taken down. In other words, it seems Obzor no longer exists. And I feel like if they're willing to...
I'm pretty sure it exists on a different name now.
...just suddenly take the site down because a few people found out about it, this might not be the only site that they're running.
Yep.
Anyway, why is it such an issue that some random crappy games get fake reviews? Many also believe that reviews offer an advantage when it comes to the Steam algorithm. In other words, fake reviews mean more traffic for your game. For example, an author named Zukalos, writing for How to Market a Game, talks about
True, if you get more reviews and people spend time in your game, let's say on the launch, then you're longer on the front page of Steam. You need to get to 10, and then you need to get playtime and sales on the game to appear on the front page. And therefore you have more traffic because more people see the front page of Steam. That's true.
Many developers note that the same day their game received 10 reviews, their store page suddenly received a burst of traffic.
Yeah, of course.
This is probably due to the link of 10 reviews getting your game onto the discovery queue.
Yeah.
And this is part of the reason why, if you want to support indie devs that you like, don't forget to leave them positive reviews.
True.
This is also obviously
Huge.
a reason why these shady game devs are also purchasing positive reviews. It's an extremely inexpensive way to promote your game. These developers purchasing fake reviews are doing more than just making
What the fuck? This is Kingdom Rush.
their game look good. When their games receive a spot in new and trending or in the
It's Kingdom
discovery
Rush.
queue, it pushes honest devs further down. But anyway, let's get back to Atomic Fabrik. Many of his games have exactly 10 reviews, many of which are from the same people, many of which have played his games for similar amounts of time, many of which have provided a seemingly AI-generated review. In short, I believe it's quite likely Atomic Fabrik is making use of a service like Obzor to purchase fake reviews for his games. This is something I suspected before I even found out about Obzor. And I'm not trying to pick on Atomic Fabrik. There's plenty of other devs doing this, but Atomic Fabrik serves as a great example of how these devs can profit off of making these games.
How? How do they profit?
So let's talk about the different ways they make money.
Yeah.
Because everyone always seems to default
We have already seen how they make money. There's an in-game store, it looks like. Or maybe I'm wrong here, but that's
to
what it looked
money
like.
laundering. And while that might be possible, there's plenty of other ways they seem to be making money. Let's
Okay.
start by talking about money-making method number 1, which I've spoken of previously. Random Steam key bundles, which are sold through key reselling websites such as G2A. Vendors on these sites gather keys for different games, package them together into a random key bundle, and then sell them to users. I wanted to see what kinds of games these bundles offered and bought a bundle of 5 keys. I received 4 Atomic Fabrik games. So how...
What the fuck? 4 of them? This guy's farming money. What's going on? And now this guy can't leave a negative review because it's not displayed. Oh god.
random are these bundles, really? From anecdotal reports I've seen, some of the vendors are actually legit, but many others report similar experiences to mine. These vendors offer games with certain review scores, say 80% positive reviews or higher, as well as
Damn.
games of a certain value, say $30 or more. Of course, this is all the more incentive for devs to purchase fake reviews and then inflate the prices of their games.
Yeah, smart.
Obviously, when customers are told they'll get a $30 mostly positive game, they're not
This is ridiculous.
expecting a game template that's incomplete. Second way these devs profit is through Steam card farming websites.
And that's why they can't refund. You can't refund because you bought a key bundle. I see.
Purchase games for farm. On these websites, users can purchase Steam keys in bulk for extremely cheap. These keys are so cheap because devs can acquire up to 5,000 keys for their game, no questions asked, then sell them off by the thousands. Look at this bundle of 100 Steam keys as an
Damn.
example, which is like a gateway drug to the crippling addiction of leveling up your Steam account. Look, there's Mech Defender, Controlcraft, and Conflictcraft. Remember those games allegedly worked on by actual children? I personally believe Games
Damn.
for Farm is run by Atomic Fabrik. He has used the alias Games for Games on Steam. Games for Farm also sells several Atomic Fabrik titles. So you do the math. Anyway, sets of these Steam cards from games can be used to level up people's Steam accounts. It shouldn't be any
Oh.
surprise the admins of the Games for Farm Steam group are also running Steam level up bots. If you know anything about Steam cards, people use systems to farm the cards and then can trade the cards for other things. Items on the Steam marketplace can be traded for other items that can be more readily exchanged for real money. Think things like Counter-Strike skins, for example. And you might think they're only going to make pennies off of this, but actually a lot of, if not all of the process can be automated. So when you think about the thousands of keys they're able to farm from each game, that can potentially add up. Third method of making money, and possibly the funniest, is that sites such as Games for Farm also provide game keys to social media promotional services. This promotional service works by purchasing a ton of terrible Steam keys in bulk, then tells users of their site they'll get one of these awful keys in exchange for liking, following, wishlisting, subscribing, joining, and performing dozens of other menial tasks.
Oh, and that's why people they want to get some real games, and then they do these things, and they get these shitty games.
At the end of the day, after toiling away for hours, you'll finally get your copy of an Atomic Fabrik game. And if you're ever wondering why so many of them are asking to promote Steam curators, well, I looked into that too. Most of these curators are fake copies of one another, which are clearly being mass-produced.
What do we have here?
Curators are fake copies.
What is this? This is a Criti Score. 6,900 followers, and then Game Review Pro, 6,900 followers. So recent reviews, and they are similar. Yeah, they have the exact same reviews. 126, 131. Steam curators are useless. Yeah, the only non-useless Steam curator, guys, the only one that you need to know is the sweet baby ink detected Steam curator. This one's the best. You wanna follow this guy? I should actually follow them. This is the best one. Okay. The best ones, nah, gotta be careful. And also don't send them your keys, or more than one, because they're gonna sell them on the website, okay?
Other which are clearly being mass-produced. The reason is that these curators exist so they can email game developers and beg them for keys. They
beg you for keys, and then they want more than one key, and then they sell those keys on the key websites and make money off them. Exactly. You shouldn't send more than one. Sell your own keys on other websites. Do the pirate software thing. Get a bunch of keys, sell them on other websites for the full price of your game, and you don't have to supply Steam with the 30% cut. You get 100% of the value.
Accounts giving the impression they'll promote the dev's game to thousands of...
So let's say you have a game on Steam that costs $10. You generate a key for that game. You put it on another website, let's say itch.io. You have to put it for at minimum $10 because Steam has to handle the downloading, all of the server costs. And then you sell that game on itch. You get the $10 and you don't have to pay Steam the 30% cut from those
people, when in reality, they're just going to take the dev's game and sell it on a third-party site for profit.
Exactly.
So if you're a game dev watching this, be careful who you send your keys to, because you don't want to support any of these scumbags. Fourth method is that these games can be used to exploit giveaway sites. These sites are supposed to be about the love for giving, about brightening someone's day with a gift of a video game. But instead, people's days are ruined when they receive a $200 Atomic Fabrik game. There are a number of these giveaway sites, but the most prominent I'm aware of is called Steam Gifts. On Steam Gifts, when users create a giveaway and send out copies of games, they earn a score for each copy they give away. It's called contributor value. As you earn contributor value, or CV, your account levels up. Unlike with Steam accounts, however, you actually get some meaningful benefits from leveling up. When users create Steam Gifts giveaways, they often cap them so that users below a certain CV level cannot participate. It's not meant to be mean to newcomers or exclude them, it's just because people want to give away games to others who are also giving away games. Not just to people trying to mooch and get free stuff without contributing anything themselves.
I mean, that makes sense.
Contributor value is calculated using the price of the game on Steam.
Wow.
This means you can farm contributor value quite quickly, giving away games with high prices, such as Atomic Fabrik games. If you reach level 10 on Steam Gifts, that enables you to join any giveaway on the site.
And
so
basically
you could theoretically...
you try to get all of these good games. Basically, you're trying to farm up and get these good games. This game may be a virus, ended up with my computer getting really hot after installing it and stuttering a lot. Removed it from my computer and it seems to be going back to normal. Holy shit.
Spend a few dollars on games for farm and
Thanks
be
for the raid
eligible
devs,
for the
Rogers.
same
Welcome, guys.
benefit
Hi.
that other people spent thousands of dollars on. And you also just made the
Damn.
platform actively worse because someone opened up an Atomic Fabrik title expecting a complete game. It's unclear whether Atomic Fabrik is purposefully inflating their game prices for this purpose, but it's definitely something that has an effect on these giveaway communities. Fortunately, there are users on Steam Gifts actively working to get these games blacklisted so they don't offer any more points.
Very good stuff.
Because it sadly breaks the system for everyone involved.
But I mean, how fast can you block the game compared to how fast this guy can dish out Steam Store Unity assets to assets?
Fortunately, Atomic Fabrik and other devs pump out these games so
I never give keys to those who ask, only to those who don't. Yeah, don't give out keys to curators. You're gonna lose them.
rapidly that Steam Gifts have had to blacklist hundreds of these games in the past year alone. People are just trying to have a nice time giving away games, but it has to be ruined. Fifth and last method of profiting that I'm aware of is simply selling the games on Steam. Obviously. Now, you
but
might
who's gonna
say,
buy that?
but what about protecting the fake review score? Which is a great point. But consider this. The fake review score doesn't need to be protected after the keys are sold. After vendors have purchased the key and confirmed that the game has a high enough review score, it's totally fine if the review score plummets afterward. So why not take those $260 games, put a huge discount on them, and even create all kinds of different bundles to make them seem like a far better deal than they actually are.
And some
it only
people
takes
buy
a few
that.
sales, and Atomic Fabrik makes back the $100 fee to publish
Can you actually refund the bundle on Steam? Is that possible?
the game. When we're talking about Atomic Fabrik, I'd imagine few are willing to buy his games through Steam, but there are plenty of other developers who engage in practices similar to what we've spoken of throughout the video, who rely more so on Steam sales than Atomic Fabrik does. As you can see, there's a number of ways individuals can profit off filling the Steam store with minimal to zero effort games. And that's assuming they're not just laundering money. This demonstrates how many different ways people are taking advantage of Steam and making the store a worse place. It harms the visibility of legitimate products that honest devs might have spent years of their lives on. And they don't
some devs don't even get to 10 reviews and therefore they don't get on the front page or the discovery queue. It's sad to see, It really sucks. This is the one part that I like. It really sucks.
Deserve to be put in the same list in categories as these shady developers, if you could even call them developers. Regardless, as we've mentioned, when these shady devs get called out for their actions, they can just fragment into a load of different identities, so it's that much harder to track them and hold them accountable. This should not happen. Anyway, I want to shout out Sentinels of their store for their investigation into Obzor, as well as Obey the Fist for calling out Atomic Fabrik's habitual republishing of other people's assets, as well as Shattered Mind for uncovering all of Atomic Fabrik's 60+ different fake identities.
Cakez, you don't need to worry. With 100 people in streams, getting 10 bad reviews will be a matter of seconds after publishing.
Can we just ask Steam to
I'm just not gonna engage.
stop letting scammers switch their identities to whatever they want? As much as I love Steam, I think the platform can and should be better, especially when they ask for such a significant cut of the revenue. Either way, thanks for watching.
No, I think the cut is fine. 30% is fine, to be honest. But I agree the platform should be better. Yeah, there should be a better way to track these and ban these. Maybe automate the process. Because there's no reason for a normal game developer to make their game that high. If you see a difference between a, let's say, $2 price and a $200 game price, that should be a red flag. I'm pretty sure you can track that. Yeah, and there's not much you can do about it. Except for not buying those keys. Don't go to the key websites and get scammed like that. Anyways, a really good video, guys. I'm pretty sure you guys would like to watch it too. Here you go. And this guy, Fireborn, is actually really informative. Let's see, is there a way to support him? Oh, he streams too. Very cool.